Hey, I'm John Mark Lowry, and I'm the Digital Project Manager here at Agency Creative, and I'm a nerd so that you don't have to be. Today we're talking about our Digital Best Practices series, which is a whole blog series about just best practices in the world of the internet and how to get your internet security running better, how to lock down your website, how to make sure that hackers don't get in and mess up your stuff. The good news is this. It happens to a lot of people every day. That doesn't really sound like good news, but the good news about it is that there are tons of resources and tools to help you get your site back up and running and get it back quickly and secure it against things like this happening. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on WordPress sites because they make up about 52% of websites on the internet. So because of that, most of you who are setting up a website where you need to be concerned about internet security will probably have a WordPress website. The great thing about the internet today is that it enables you to do so many things very easily. So it's really easy to set up a WordPress site. It's extremely easy to buy a domain name and to link your site to that domain. But the problem is that while they're enabling you to make this site and get it up and running, a lot of times they're not telling you about the security that you need to have to keep it up and running and to keep hackers out of it. My top 3 recommendations for things you should look for in your security platform are: number 1, integrity monitoring. This is basically just, is your website up and running and is it functioning as it should be? Number 2 is malware detection and a cleanup service. This is really useful for in case your website gets hacked. And hey, it happens sometimes. But a lot of these services will offer free malware removal and cleanup as long as you're subscribed as a part of their service. And that can really save a lot of headache down the road if a hack does happen. And then the final recommendation would be number 3, the WAF or Web Application Firewall. And this is the full site wrapper that basically locks your site down and gives you full control over who accesses it. Now, if you're not familiar with the internet and with web development in general, there's a good chance that you're really overwhelmed right now. But the good news is you don't have to worry about this alone. At Agency Creative, we have a bunch of nerds like me on staff and ready to help you with all of these issues or provide recommendations for whatever you need in web security. This has been part 2 of our Digital Best Practices blog series called Hackers Beware: How to Upsize Your Internet Security. So tune back in for part 3 where we continue to discuss our digital best practices recommendations. Thanks.